The MCU is literally, it's driving itself into the ground, and it's because everyone's obsessed with nostalgia, and everyone's stupid, and everyone wants to go back in time, and that's why we're at where we're at, because everyone's dumb. No one wants to grow up. Okay. So, obviously the new Doomsday trailer came out. Crazy. By the way, what? I couldn't even tell you what they're, like, building up to. Okay. First, the Infinity Saga, I could be like, yes, it was this, and that. And I could tell you, like, the post-credit scenes, and I could tell you, like, what everything was leading up to. With this, I don't know what's happening. I would say, and I'll admit, I haven't been super keeping up with it. But I feel like even with the Infinity Saga, you didn't really need to super keep up with it. Like, you could kind of understand it to an extent if you watched, like, a good amount of them. And then you got to Infinity War and you were like, oh, okay. Okay, I can piece it together. This one, I don't know what's happening. They freaking, sorry, like, zoned out for a second. They have characters that don't make sense. That don't make sense, but, like, and then that freaking Steve Rogers come back. What is he doing here? I just think it's so stupid. I think it is such a great representation of where we're at right now in society, where we're at right now in pop culture and whatever, and how we're all gonna die. That's what's gonna happen. Doomsday's gonna come out, we're all gonna die, and that we have to come to terms with that. I've been doing, like, colorful looks recently, and I need to get, like, separate brushes for that, because now my stuff's blue. But anyways, I think nostalgia is gonna be the death of us. It's gonna kill us, we're all gonna die because of it. Literally, pop culture wise, because it's in politics, but I'll get into that, but pop culture wise, I hate when everyone, right now, because everyone's like, guys, Y2K 90s, Y2K this, and oh my god, guys, I miss when everyone was like, everyone dressed for themselves, and everyone was doing this. Yeah, because we didn't live in a surveillance state. Literally, when people try to be themselves now, everyone's going to take a picture and everyone's going to post it, and even if it's lighthearted, even if it's like, hey guys, look how cool this person was, stop! Why do you guys want to take pictures of people so bad? You want to take pictures of people so bad because you're a freak. That's why. When you go out in public and you see a person, you're like, wow, I should take a picture of them. That's because you're a freak. But, like, it's so weird. Like, you want this, like, authenticity that you see when you think of, like, you know, 20 or 2000s, even 2010s, like, early 2010s, like, pop culture and stuff. This kind of authenticity that you don't really get anymore, and it's like, why do you think we don't get it anymore? Maybe because you're all annoying. Maybe because every time someone does something different, you guys are like, ooh, that's not it. Wait, stop. That's gross. Ew, you liked Pink Flamingos. You liked the movie? Stop, that's so weird. You're all posers, and you're all fakers. You wouldn't know weird if it licked your butt. And even then, you just say it was a freak. Like, I think we're forgetting that, like, okay, in order for society to function, you need to have boring people. You gotta have boring people. You have to have people in society that are a little boring. And I think everyone, okay, this sounds so bad and so self-absorbed. But, like, everyone wants to be weird. No one wants to put in the freaking effort to be weird. I've been weird my whole life. I've been bullied for it. I've been out of that. But also, I'm not gonna gatekeep weird, but also, I'm fully aware that when I see some people, I'm like, you're not doing this for the love of the game. There's no love in this. You're doing it because you're going on TikTok, seeing this, and being like, oh, I should do that. Wait, I should do that. It's like, no! God, be yourself! If you want all this freaking Y2K, freaking authenticity and stuff, just be yourself. Literally. And if you're boring... if your normal self is boring, that's okay. Okay, I told you, boring people make the world go round. Got it? We need some people who are going to stick to the status quo, okay? Not everyone's going to be able to. I don't stick to the status quo, and that sucks. It sucks growing up. But also, I think another problem is that I had to learn the hard way was that you got to own it, and no one's owning it. If you're a freak, you're a freak. just freaking do it. And then all these people that people look up to, like for example, like Vanilla Mace, authentically herself. And it's really weird. It's like this weird contrast between you want influencers who are very authentic, but then you don't actually want to do that for yourself, but then also you're gonna kill them because they're being too authentic, and then they do something that's kind of like, what? And then you're like, what? We're seeing people way too much. Way too much. We're seeing people way too much. We can't be seeing this many people. But the only times the only time you should ever be seeing this many people is when you go to like a music festival or something. Like you go to a concert, you go somewhere, you go on a vacation, like somewhere where like that. And it's like, it really does suck. Because I genuinely do think we could go, I will say a big part of it, pop culture wise, was having cable television. A big part of it was having like cable television, having like, just like, there was one thing everyone could watch, and that's it. And I think that's why shows like Love Island or, I don't know, stuff like that, do so well, is because it's one thing. You only get to watch it on one thing, and you know it's going to be on that one thing.
Ate that little one thing.
And then whatever. And, I don't know. And then going back to nostalgia, it's like, you're nostalgic for this time that, like, yeah, it was good on paper. It wasn't good in person. Like, I'll always see, like, Gen X. And, like, they'll be like, the 80s, man, the 80s was it. The 80s? They had to remind you to go look for your kids.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
What are you talking about? The 80s? Everyone died. It's not as fun. When you look pop culture, it's like, yeah, it's awesome. But then when you actually live it, it's like, well, no, it wasn't that fun. And we were making some good progress. We were making some good, like, wow, it's, like, better than it was before. And now it's like, well, okay, now it's the same. And I just think, like, okay, actually, yeah, going into politics, the reason why we're here is because everyone wants to go back. No one even wants to go back to the 80s. Everyone wants to go back to the 1880s, and everyone wants to die of cholera. Or not cholera. What's it on the Oregon Trail? I don't know. But they want to die of that. And it's like, God. You have to be okay with the fact that time moves on. And it's gonna always do that. That's, like, its thing. Its thing is that it moves on. Your task, though, is to move with it and know how to keep up with it. You're moving with time. Time's moving. You don't have to go as fast. You don't have to go as fast as it. I always have this thing where it's like, I think we moved a little bit too quickly. I think that's why, especially my generation, the younger portion of it, that, like, grew up in the weird section where it was like, you were getting into technology, getting into like streaming service, like modern technology, but then also we had like DVDs, and we had cable, and we had all this, and it really wasn't until I don't want to say like COVID when this stuff became like mainstream and big. But like, I don't know, I think we just moved on too quickly. Like too quickly, but like not in a good way. Like, yes, we should be advancing like this in technology, but also let's take a break and let's go back to like flip phones. Not even. Let's go back to like 2010. Like, that was okay. Not good, but it was okay. Also, obviously, all of this is impacted by politics and who's in office, and American-wise, who's in office and globally, like, what's going on. And then also, it's weird, though, because also, I don't mind, like, everything, I guess, because the one thing that's good about this now is that people are now becoming more aware of like the world around them, and that's awesome and that's great. I think people take it too far sometimes, and then they go so left, they go right, but you know what I mean. I think it's just when we're in a time like this where everything's bad and nothing's good and everything sucks, I think this notion begins to pop up where it's like, well, if everything's bad now, we can't end the things that are good. So I think that's when you get like the MCU. Things are like the MCU was big during the Obama era, big during woke one, big during that stuff, big during change and crazy stuff. And you want to go back to that era where like it was a big blockbuster. It was something everybody came together. We have so many blockbusters now that like, I don't know. I think it's just wanting to recreate something and not knowing why it was so good in the first place, and it's weird. I'll see you next Tuesday. Na, 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 na. And then I don't know. I genuinely don't think it's that hard to like. I don't want to say like go back, but I definitely think it's just literally being yourself, being authentic, not caring, and these issues that we're dealing with now, whether it's like Ozempic and like skinny era, or it's like politics and it's like all these very divided, politics and stuff. That's not a new thing. We're living in the 2000s, like this is early 2000s. But I think it's just how we're going about it. Maybe I don't know. It's such a double-edged sword, because on the one end it's like this friggin' sucks, but then also it's like, well, some people are raising awareness and that probably wouldn't have happened 20 years ago. But it's just weird the times we live in. I think what sucks the most is that people are, I don't want to say scared. People are definitely like, I think most people want to go back to that time. They want to go back to a time that was just simple, and we moved too quickly for us to adapt to it. And because this is like the first time in history we're moving this quickly. Like, this is the first time in history like stuff like this is happening, where like, you know what I mean? Like in the 1800s, like not even like before that, like trends would last decades. They would last a while. And granted, they're like clothing wise, like it's because it was like 1,000 layers, so yeah, it was gonna last a while. But it wasn't anything they had to worry about and be like, oh my god, is anyone else wearing it? And it was like, well, maybe everyone else is wearing it, but they're doing mutton sleeves and you're doing poofy sleeves. Like, what? There's not a big difference. And now it's like everyone wants to be unique, but the thing is, when everyone wants to be unique, everyone's boring. Everyone's being unique because they're not actually being themselves. Even if you're the most basic person in the world, you work at office, you work at office, you go to work in your car, and you go to house, and your house is the suburbs, and you have a dog and a nuclear family. Who cares? We need those people, because they're boring. Sorry, we're not boring. Sorry. And even now, when I'm like, am I contradicting myself a lot when I'm saying, duh, I'm just speaking out my butt. And that's another thing. Some people are annoying, okay, like me. And we have to live with that. You just gotta live with people. You don't have to like people, though. That's another thing. I hate the whole thing was like, you just gotta deal with it. You just gotta tolerate people. No. You gotta live with it. You don't have to deal with it. That makes sense. I mean, like Trump supporters. Like, yeah, they're gonna exist. They're gonna be in my life. I'm gonna deal with it, though. I don't want to deal with it, though. I don't want to interact with that, though. It's just, yeah, I think it's just annoying because it's so easy to go back to that. It's genuinely so easy to go back to that. It's just, no one gave a gaff. No one gives a gaff enough to go back to it. I don't even give a gaff enough to go back to it. Granted, I was born at the end of it, so. But, I don't know. It's just like, it's also like, it makes me sad because I know that we're all longing for something that was so simple and so easy and whatever, because like, it's like a good thing that we know all this now. It's a good thing we have this information available at our fingertips, but also it's not good we have this information available at our fingertips because now everyone's scared, and some people, it makes a lot of people act out in ways that they probably wouldn't have, and by that I mean like, it scares people and so they don't end up doing nothing. And it's like, well, okay. Like, everyone's just scared right now, so they're just going back to what they know, and that's fine. But also be aware that time has moved and you can adjust. I don't know. I think that's why that's why I personally like people like Vanilla Mae, Celebrity Broski, people like that, where they're so authentic, but it's like also in the modern day. Like, you can be authentic, you can like these like vintage, not vintage, retro, no. You know what I mean? Aesthetics and do all this stuff, but also be in the present. Like, this has all just been popping in my head recently because I've been watching Jackass, and I was like, wow, that's such like a simple time. And I think it's so crazy when I was watching it, I was like, these aren't, well, no, it is crazy. The stuff they do is crazy. But I think I was like, the live streamers we see now and these stupid YouTubers we see now, they could be doing this stuff. They could be. I think what made it not funny when they do this stuff, though, is because the Jackass guys are authentic. That's just them, and they're not good people. They're not like, hence the name, they're not like incredible people, but also they know that. They know that. There's also this like accountability thing we don't have anymore. It's like, yes, you're a bad person. Maybe not a bad person, but you know, you've done some things. That's not good, but also who cares? Not who cares. Own up to it. I don't know. But no, it's just like authenticity is such a big thing, and I think everyone's scared of it because we live in a surveillance state, and I don't know. I don't know. Just be yourselves. It's genuinely, life gets so much easier when you're yourself. When you just be yourself and you're like, yes, do I sometimes like go home and I'm like, why did I say that? Why did I do that? I'm such a freak. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be a freak than someone who's not myself. You're never going to be happy with anything if you always go home and you're like, damn, what's TikTok saying? What should I buy? What should I do? Again, not a new thing. It's just at a higher level now. And I think it's just dumb. Can't believe this started. Oh, I have to do my lips. Okay, I forgot I had to do my lips. And I know this started with me talking about the MCU, but I just think it's such a good example of like, because when you compare it to the DCU, it's just such a good example of like, dude, you gotta end it. You gotta end it. Or if you're gonna end it, at least make it cool. And I also think Marvel kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit because they solidified the MCU with these actors and stuff. So now you can't recast that. You know, like with Superman, Batman, whatever, it's like, you know, you can have anyone play them. You can have anyone do that because there's not one actor. There might be like favorite actors, but there's not just one actor who's always played it. There's multiple. However, with like Iron Man, it's RDJ, like that's it. That's his role. So then you don't want to like go back on that because it's like, well, okay, now we're gonna lose half our fan base. It's like, well, also, it fucking sucks. So they fell into what the DC, what's it, DC EU, AU, whatever it was. And they just kept going with it. And that's awful. That's awful. And the thing is, like, I always wish that Marvel, like, wasn't owned by Disney and could do, like, the really cool, like, the Batman, like, stuff like that. That'd be really cool, but they're owned by Disney, and I'm betting that's why they can't do half of the stuff. Like, certain characters, most of the characters, I don't want to say, like, I want it dark and edgy. I want to be dark and edgy. But I genuinely do think some of the characters, like, their stories would have been better. Black Widow or Bucky or even Captain America or like the Hulk. The Hulk was such lost potential. He is such a cool, like if you did some type of like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type thing, that'd be so sick. But they didn't. They just kind of fumbled with it, and then they've just been fumbling since. Maybe not since. They haven't been fumbling since. Since like, and I don't know. They've had some hit or misses. And then, yeah, that's the thing. No, that was gross. Sorry. Okay. It hasn't all been bad, but the problem is it's not all cohesive, and I think that's the problem. Because with the Infinity Saga, yeah, again, you had some hit or misses, but it was all cohesive, so it was like, okay, fine, I guess, like, yeah, I'll watch it. But then with this, it's like, none of it really, like, I couldn't tell you how any of them, like, combine with each other. Like, I don't even know. And I think also introducing TV shows was kind of meh. For Marvel. DC, you can do Peacemaker. You can do Peacemaker and have it work because it's good. And because, I don't know, it's new also. I don't know. That's why The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was so good, though. Oh, and WandaVision and Loki, like, you have these good shows. It's just, again, cohesive. It's not coming together. It's not coming together. I was supposed to be watching this, like, podcast. Jackass the podcast. I was supposed to be watching it, and then I just got really into what the heck I was saying. But, I don't know, it just makes me so mad. Because it's such, like, an easy fix. It's such an easy fix. It's literally just be yourself. Be yourself. Don't, oh, here's my outfit. These pants are really baggy, by the way. They were in the medium section, so I bought them, and then I got them, and it was like not a medium, and I was like, oh, yikes. But and I don't like trying stuff on. I couldn't try anything on. No, yes, I could. It's just such an easy fix if you act yourself. Act yourself. Act whoever you want. And I'm sure there's like a whole other conversation with why the 2000s was the way it was, because I know it's some like politics. It's a lot of politics. And whatever. But this was just me ranting, so whatever. But I always like, I do long for it. Like, I can't lie and say like everyone's stupid, because I do long for that simplicity of like having this pop culture so readily available and so like crazy all around, but then also like there's a distance between it. But yeah, like, okay, because I got into Jackass recently because of their final movie, and everyone's like, well, is there gonna be a Jackass, like, are you sure it's your final movie? You've said that for every other one. And he's like, yeah, it's the final one. And I think it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's the final one, you just gotta end it. Or again, you do what DC did, you end it, and then if you're gonna keep going, you choose a whole you do something new, something fun, something new. You don't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. That's what happens in politics. We tried to do something new, and then we did, and then we went back. We went back. That's my video. Bye.